Okay, so it was absolutely going to happen soon. Jalen Carter absolutely took over practice day number 11. We're showing clips of the season. Most importantly, the Saints game, because this is when Jalen Carter told you that stats don't always matter as a D tackle. He didn't have the greatest stats versus the Saints, but if you watch the game, every single play, Jalen Carter had his hand on it, or his fingertips on it, or his footprints on it, I should say. Whether it was a hurry pass, an easy one-on-one, because he was getting doubled and triple teamed at times, Jalen Carter presence was felt. And today at practice, maybe it's because he realizes football's back, his presence was felt to another level, right? We just got done watching the young boys beat the Bengals up. Jalen Carter's probably like, hey, I like the young D-line, but let me show that young D-line what I can really do. Again, Jalen Carter destroyed practice. We're going to get into it. Reportedly, he had a sack, a strip sack on Hurts, and a batted pass. And he was unstoppable in one-on-ones. And I don't see the Eagles lining him up one-on-one with Matt Pryor, Drew Kendall. He's probably one-on-one with the Lane Johnsons, Jordan Malata's, Landon Dickersons. And he was chewing them up. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and it's the Philly Tall Podcast. Do your boy a favor. Hit the like button. It is free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. And I greatly appreciate it. We dropped the recap video of the Eagles-Bengals yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that, the good, the bad, as we did in the video. But live, I can get your input right away, not just reading a comment and writing back to you. But first, let's talk about Jalen Carter and Eagles training camp practice notes. Oh, yeah, that Jalen Carter guy is pretty good. This is written by Brandon Lee Gouton. I'm not going to pull it on the screen because there's too much stuff that pops up, like Eagle highlights and stuff. But Eagle practice notes. Today's marks the 11th Philadelphia Eagle training camp practice ahead of the 2025 NFL season. This session lasted for about 1 hour and 25 minutes. Here's what Brandon Lee Gouton observed at the NovaCare complex. Let's start with a Jalen Hurts update. Hurts had a solid practice. The reigning Super Bowl MVP did well to connect with Johnny Wilson, a guy who showed his 6'7" body frame going up, getting head tops. Mawson, wide receivers left and right against the Bengals. But anyways, in practice 11, Hurts connected with Johnny Wilson on a layered throw over the middle. Hurts put the ball high where the tall receiver could go make the play. Hurts had a nice short completion to Cross Dallas Goedert. Hurts did overthrow Saquon Barkley in the flat during a situation where the offense was backed up at the -1 yard line. He also had a throw get deflected at the line of scrimmage. Eagles injury report. This is big. He said he saw Jalix Hunt participating in offensive line versus defensive line drills early in practice, but he wasn't to be found during team drills. ESPN Tim McManus said he saw Hunt visit the medical tent about 20 minutes into practice. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, but you don't want Jalix Hunt getting hurt in practice, right? We talk about stay healthy in training camp. We also got to stay healthy during practice. Shout out to the real ones in here. I'm going to shout you out in a little bit. I just want to read the article, talk about training camp day 11, some of the things Fangio said, a little bit more in the preseason game, and trust me, we will bring up Keely Ringo for sure. I know y'all going to come at me because I've been probably one of the heavier guys supporting him, and he did get beat badly. We'll talk about all that, all right? But back to the article real quick. Hold on one second. Back to the article. The injury report, Jalix Hunt, we got to keep an eye on that. A.J. Brown didn't practice. Elijah Cooks, Kenyon Green, Charlie Hewlett, Montrell Johnson Jr., Cameron Lidietu, and Byron Young. Limited participant, Zach Bond, which is good. He's back. Landon Dickerson, Terrence Marshall, and that's about it. Upgraded to full practice is Andrew Makuba and Mac McWilliams. So these guys who were limited, they're now back. I really don't know how much Andrew Makuba played versus the Bengals. That's something I want to talk to y'all about. But I will be watching his PT, and what he does going forward. So this is what this is what Brandon Lee Gowton wrote. Oh, yeah, that Jalen Carter guy is pretty good. Let's be clear. I don't think Carter has been dogging it at practice by any means, but it feels like he can hit an entirely different gear when he really wants to do so. Today was one of those days where Carter decided to be a game wrecker. Well, in this case, practice wrecker. He strip sacked Jalen Hurts. He knocked down a pass at the line of scrimmage, and he continued to shine in one-on-ones. He also got another sack, according to the first paragraph that I skipped. During training camp, it can be easy to overlook players that we already know are great at the expense of paying attention to other guys with more to prove, but it bears repeating that Carter is a force to be reckoned with. And again, in other beat writers' terms, they're really stressing how crazy it is. When Carter turns it on, it's just to a different level. It's just to a different level that we haven't seen in really Philly probably since Fletcher Cox young days. Again, to go from Fletcher Cox to Jalen Carter is incredible. To go from Jason Kelsey to Cam Jurgens is incredible. Like all the replacements we've been able to draft and develop and or just let their natural talents come, because so many people, including Fangio, said that Jalen Carter is still like a pup. Like he's winning with raw talent, not the football savvy that he will have sooner or later. Position battle update for cornerback. Keely Ringo was first up with the first team defense on Saturday. That makes 6 days of Dory Jackson. That makes 6 days of Dory Jackson has been up first and 5 for Ringo, so it's still close. Ringo broke up a pass to Devontae Smith on a curl route, but it looked like he got to the receiver early, which means pass interference. Sheesh. Multiple nearby reporters agreed that a flag should have been thrown for pass interference. Jackson trailed on a play where Darius Cooper dropped an over-the-shoulder catch. The undrafted rookie is human after all. Fangio said the first preseason game was a great learning experience for Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo. He said, and I quote, I think it's great that happened. We'll see if they can grow from it. So Fangio knows that they were both getting cooked. There's no sugarcoating it. He said, let's see if they can grow. Sheesh. And we will talk about the new rookie, the new cornerback, Jacorian Bennett, who had his first press conference. And I love the things he said. I really do. The boy is confident, not cocky. He's confident. And he literally said, Philly's getting a dog. Philly is getting another dog. To continue on what Brandon Lee Gowton said, Eli Ricks, repping at right cornerback, intercepted a Tanner McKee pass for a pick six with the Eagles. So officially, pick six Ricks is back. The pick six with the Eagles offense backed up against their -1 yard line. Not sure if McKee and Terrence Marshall had a miscommunication, but kudos to Ricks for making the play. In any case, the third-year cornerback celebrated his touchdown by punting the ball. Here we go. Jacorian Bennett participated in practice for the first time since the Eagles traded for him last week. Bennett's first action in team drills came when he rotated in at the right cornerback position with the second-team defense. That's notable since Ringo and Jackson have mostly repped at right cornerback this offseason. Bennett later took third-team reps at right cornerback. He wasn't really noticeable except for when he gave up a tightly contested slant reception to Taylor Morin for a successful 2-point conversion. We'll see what happens. Position battle update safety. Sidney Brown was still with the first-team safety, so it's good that Sidney Brown's still out there because he did leave the Bengals game and went to concussion protocol, so it looks like no concussion there. Sidney Brown was still the first-team safety next to Reed Blankenship and nickel defense despite Andrew Makuba's return. So, again, is training camp the end-all be-all? No. But Makuba's back, full participant, and Sidney Brown still getting first-team reps. Makuba did see some very limited first-team action as the sixth defensive back in Eagles dime package. I like that. I like that Fangio's using Makuba in the dime package, which would mean Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown at safety, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, whatever cornerback's playing right, whether it's Bennett, Ringo, or Jackson, or we end up going out and getting a guy like Stephon Gilmore and or Asante Samuel Jr. That being said, the extra slot corner, so there's a nickel on the one side and a dime on the other, using Andrew Makuba there, I think is a great idea. Position battle update, wide receivers. As previously noted in the Jalen Hurts section, Johnny Wilson made a nice grab over the middle in team drills. He rebounded, sits a rough start in training camp. Good on him. And again, practice is important, but games are more important. So I like what we saw from Johnny Wilson in the Bengals game. Mind you, we saw that early in the game when the Bengals still had their first team defense. Darius Cooper did drop a pass early in practice, but he followed that up by making a tough catch over the middle on a throw from Hurts in 7-on-7. Hurts left the ball a bit low, but Cooper was able to prevent it from hitting the ground. After the play, Hurts jogged over to Cooper to dap up the undrafted rookie. Cooper took a good amount of reps with the first team offense in this practice. His stock is way up. Position battle update, edge rusher. With Hunt not taking part in team drills due to him going out in the first 20 minutes, Joshua Uche was the first team edge rusher on the right side of the defense. Uche also took second team reps in the same position. Seeing some first team action, Obi, right, the double O we talk about, had some good moments. He sacked Jalen Hurts at one point, and I saw him having success against Kendall Lamb, an offensive lineman versus defensive lineman one-on-one. Remember, we started this episode talking about Jalen Carter wrecking stuff, and it might be because he feels football's back. Uche, Oroku, and Patrick Johnson have all done more than Azeez Ojulari this summer, which is low-key crazy to me. What happened to Azeez Ojulari, or what is going on with Azeez Ojulari? The dude was really talented at Georgia, third-round draft pick. When he played for the Giants, meaning when he was healthy for the Giants, he was a dog, literally. When he was healthy, he was a dog. Now, when he was hurt, he couldn't play. But for him being over here, being healthy, getting at least amount of reps, less than Patrick Johnson, less than Double O, and less than Joshua Uche is crazy to me. But, I mean, the coaches know best. Position battle update, QB3. We're almost done with this. And then we're going to get to the comments and talk a little bit about the Bengals game and all things Bengals in practice. QB3, facing first and goal from the 10-yard line, DTR threw a nice touchdown ball to Taylor Morin in the back of the end zone with Makuba trailing. DTR then hit Morin again on a quick slant for a 2-point conversion to end the practice. DTR some dancing after both reps. Kyle McCord was guilty of holding the ball for too long during his limited reps. Kyle McCord looked bad in the preseason game too. He threw a pick, threw a couple passes over our receivers' heads. McCord had a better spring than DTR, but the latter quarterback has had the superior summer. DTR definitely looks more game ready than McCord. He deserves the emergency third quarterback role based on merit. Some miscellaneous stuff. Tariq Castro Fields probably leads all Eagle players in practice penalties this offseason. He's often being flagged for a multitude of penalties. Morin might also be a practice squad guy after making some nice catches today and has return ability. Jacob Sky is another practice squad candidate, the former UFL defensive tackle. And some former Eagle linemen were spotted at practice today. Fletcher Cox was there. Brandon Brooks was there, and Ndamukong Suh were all at practice. So the next practice will be tomorrow, and that is the live practice. I will be there. Let me know in the comment section who's going to be at the live practice at the link. Let me know. And again, I might go live on my phone so y'all can see it. If the connection's bad, I won't go live, but I will record so much good film. And you can expect the very next day. So I'll be at the link on Sunday, coming home from the link Sunday night. Monday's video We'll be talking all about what we saw offensively and defensively from the starters, the backups, everything. And I won't be just talking about Jalen Hurts do a touchdown pass to this guy. I'm going to show you. I'm going to be playing the clips because that's not copyright because I'm there recording it myself. Anthony said, where's Ajomo? He's right in the mix. Actually, Ajomo is having one of the best, if not the best, D-tackle training camp thus far. And the only reason I can say his training camp has been better than Jalen Carter is because Jalen Carter has been in and out. But Jalen Carter has recently got back, started out limited, and just like that, Jalen Carter in today's practice absolutely wrecked a sack, a strip sack, pass breakup, and he was just eating on one-on-ones. And I don't see the coaching staff letting Jalen Carter go one-on-one with backup offensive linemen. Again, it is interesting to me that Joshua Uche, Arakpo, and Patrick Johnson are getting more snaps than Azeez Ojulari. Eagles, as Landon says, Super Bowl champion. Oh, I'll be there. Getting there early because of the traffic will be crazy. Chris Brown concert down there too. Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. The Chris Brown concert. I am so upset about that because the traffic is going to be crazy. What time you thinking about headed down there? Mark said, yo, Mike, it's nice to know that Carter has another great gear. He's working with pure raw power. As he continues to develop, he sounds like he's got a lot of great years ahead. Yes, we're talking about Hall of Fame, legit Hall of Fame years ahead of him. The 803 Hitman said, do you think we are overconfident at defensive end? I'm starting to think it. Starting to really think it. The fact that, okay, I thought Azeez Ojulari would be ahead of the guys that he's not ahead of, which makes me wonder, is it Azeez Ojulari playing bad or are they playing so better? You know, Nolan Smith is numero uno on the edge. Jalix Hunt, based off the small sample size last year, I believe is going to be a dog, right? I like them too. But after that, we're hoping we can bring back Joshua Uche's 11-sack season. Azeez Ojulari was a dog at Georgia and played good with the Giants when healthy, but has been MIA so far. Patrick Johnson looked good against the Bengals. He had a sack and an interception. But again, if Patrick Johnson transforms into a great defensive end, that is great, but I need to see more of it. Going off his name, I'm not solidified as him as the third or fourth. Whoever is the third, fourth, and fifth guy will get PT. The way the Eagles rotate our defensive line, especially at the edge position, is 4 or 5 guys get PT. Yeah, the top 2 might play 50% of the snaps, but the other 50% is spread it out between 3 guys. I need to see it. Now, again, I love the interior pressure, and that's gonna help out the edge rushers. And again, maybe Azeez is not getting the opportunities. I don't know. Playing with the first team is different than playing with the second and third team. Now, let's get to a little bit about Ringo, because I know some of y'all want to say, I told you, because I was talking him up. And again, so far, he hasn't been good at, he's been medium, he's been okay during training camp. He had some good days and some bad days. But his first game action, and he's not a rookie, he got burnt crispy by Jamar Chase multiple times. Then somebody named Charlie something. But it is only one game. Let me just say this. For everybody who's looking at that one game and saying, told you. Respect. But if Ringo goes out there against the Browns and gets a pick 6 and 2 PBUs in one quarter, I'm not going to be screaming, I told you. No, because the worst game or the best game you can't really judge it because in football, you got to be consistent. You got to be able to do what you do, the longevity of a season. So I need to see multiple bad games for Ringo or multiple good games for Ringo. I never said my statement was prior to all of these training camp practices is I thought that he would be ready. Sitting on the bench for 2 years, learning behind good guys, I thought he would be ready. And so far, he is less ready than even somebody who believes in him like I do, believed, maybe past tense with the ED. The early struggles worry me because I thought he would be ready. Now, you could say even veterans struggle early in training camp and early in preseason, which is true. But I thought he would be more ready, more prepared, and ready to really take over that spot. When they brought in Adoree Jackson, that should have pushed him more. When they literally brought in Jacorian Bennett, and you wet the bed in preseason game 1. Now, granted, it is against Jamar Chase. And he was literally not playing football. He was chasing him, playing tag with him on that one rep. But Ringo, he needs to keep his head up. Philly is a tough place to play when you're playing bad. So he needs to focus. And again, I call a spade a spade. He was trash in that game, and he has not been breeding confidence to me. But guess what? Was Zach Bond making big time? When Zach Bond was brought here, he wasn't making big time plays in practice. Throughout training camp, we heard Nakobe Dean's name, Devin White's name, and Zach Bond, but nothing in particular about Zach Bond, and then boom, 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 boom. Not saying that's going to happen with Ringo. But for me to poo-poo on somebody, I need to see more. Now, some of y'all can say, I never really liked this game coming out of Georgia. If you never really liked this game coming out of Georgia, then I understand. And I respect it. Me, and anybody who says Ringo is trash, I see you, I'm awake. We got no beef. We want the best person out there, whether it's Ringo or not. We got no beef. We got the same end game, the end goal, win. And I'm glad Howie Roseman ain't going to sit on his hands. He brought in Jacorian Bennett. Isaiah said, we brought in Q and Coop last year, and in 1 year here, and in 1 year, they'll be the top 100 players. It's year 3 for Keeley. Now, it's now or never. Now, that I can accept. I absolutely co-sign what you just said there. It is now or never. If Keely Ringo can't win the starting job and play good, then he's forever going to be a special teamer until his contract's up. And once his contract's up, the Eagles will not re-sign him. And I'm cool with it if that's the way it goes. It is now or never. I'm just not one of the guys who say it's never. It's now or never. Now, there's people who straight say it's now because I 100% believe in them. Maybe I've said that once or twice, but I think I've been more along the lines of I want to see a full training camp. A full training camp. At the end of training camp, at the end of preseason, if Fangio, or depending if our eyes, or even most importantly, Fangio eyes don't pick them, then I'll give you all the people who said that what they deserve, like the pat on the back. Green Wingman with the first super chat of the day. He said, the beauty of having a second starting quarterback is that you really elevate the potential of the wide receivers and running backs. That is true. So now it's not only Jalen Hurts with the first team getting good reps from their quarterback, right? Like some wide receivers like, man, I wish Jalen Hurts was throwing me the ball. How am I going to show the coaching staff I deserve a roster spot when I got bum ass quarterbacks throwing me the football? But when Tanner McKee steps in with the second unit, he's slinging a rock like a first string quarterback. It definitely helps out the running backs and the wide receivers. Could be part of the reason why Darius Cooper is out of nowhere looking like a crazy man. Appreciate the super chat, though. Green Wingman, my guy. Zay said, bro, the Bengals are top heavy at wide receiver. I see you getting cooked by someone we don't know. Then that's a red flag. I hear you. And again, he did get, when he got beat by the third string or the second string wide receiver, Charlie Johnson or Charlie something, he was right on his hip. He just got beat. Better offense. And a lot of the practice reports he's been on receivers' hips, just getting beat at the contest point, at the catch point. Got to clean that up. If Ringo can't get it done, I'm not babying him. I just will remind you. And I'm not saying the people who are telling me Ringo is not good. I'm not saying you are exactly one of the people that were out on the Kobe Dean and out on Nolan Smith, but there were people telling me in my live stream and in my comment section that Nolan Smith can't beat second string preseason offensive lineman. He's too small. He can't be second string offensive lineman. No. Wasn't worth the first round pick and all that. People said that. People didn't just say Nakobe Dean wasn't good because he was injured. He said he couldn't cover. He couldn't play. Not saying y'all, some people. And everybody has their opinion. I'm a person that has my opinion. I stay on my opinion. And if my opinion is proven wrong, then I give props to the people who prove me wrong. I'm not afraid to change my opinion. Some people are afraid to admit when they're wrong. I'm not. I'm wrong. We're going to see. And right now, I feel like my confident level before training camp started is less in Keely Ringo than it's less. When we were going throughout the offseason, I wanted to keep one of Slay or Rodgers. I wanted to keep at least one of Slay or Rodgers. The Steelers only gave Slay $10 million. That means the Eagles did not try to match the $10 million. We probably offered them like 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I wanted to keep one. When we didn't, I said, okay. I saw Ringo play against the Giants at the end of the season. I seen him in a couple snaps here or there. There's been many times where AJ gave him flowers. This is the second year with Vic Fangio. Fangio had to have some type of confidence in him to just really tell how he really not going to try to get Slay back or Rodgers. I'm good. And then training camp came, and it was bad practice, good practice, bad practice, good practice. My confidence level kind of went down a little bit, and then I saw the first preseason game, and it's definitely lower than it's ever been. But I'm still not done because I said before multiple bad practices, and I said before the Bengals game, I need to see the whole training camp and the whole preseason. Now, would that stop me from signing a Stephon Gilmore or a Asante Samuel Jr.? Or does that stop me from being happy that Howie Roseman signed Jacorian Bennett? No. Ringo, I believed in you, and I thought you were going to win the job. But damn sure I ain't handing it to you. Eagle fans won't hand it to you. Eagle coaching staffs won't hand it to you. You got to win it. I don't care if we bring in 5 corners. If it was your job, you keep it. We could bring in 10 corners. Quignon not losing his job. So go get your job. Shout out to Michael Fedler with the biggest super chat of the night. Second one of the day. $10 banger. He said, good day, Bird gang. Nah, gang. We need help at corner. Why not put him at safety? Now, look, I went on my little rant. I should have read that first. I'm not saying we don't need help at corner. I'm with you, Michael. There's not one person on the roster opposite of Quinyon and Coop that I am 100% sure in. There's nobody on the roster that I think is better than Slay outside Quinyon and Coop. So I'm with you. We could bring in Stephon Gilmore, Asante Samuel Jr., and then let it be Bennett, Samuels, Gilmore, Adoree, and Keeley. Let that shit be a battle royal. The winner that comes out of there gotta be at least a C+ or B-. So again, will Howie do that? No. But I'm all cool with it. I'm all cool with bringing in any help. But because right now, even though I want to see Keely Ringo for the rest of training camp, I want to see Bennett. I want to see everybody. The biggest concern on the defensive side will be number 1, cornerback, number 2, safety depth, and I'm starting to low-key worry about the depth at pass rusher. But it'll be corner first, then it will be safety and defensive end. But safety and defensive end, got a little worry there. Corner, I do. And the worry could be, I'm just not as big as I was on Keely Ringo, but I'm not giving up. But shout out to Michael Feather. Been rocking with the channel. All great Eagle content channels for a while. Always donating, always hitting a like, always find his way in here. We appreciate you, Michael. And listen, I can't wait to get on Goat Talk with LB. I didn't watch his last episode or stream, but I hear him on Twitter, and he definitely poo-pooing on the Keely Ringo, Adoree Jackson thing, which is rightfully so. But that should be an interesting conversation, at least. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at anybody who said Keely Ringo getting cooked. He did. That's a true statement. An absolutely true statement. Green Wingman said, "Prom, even if we bring another cornerback, he may be a problem where he doesn't have time to understand the defense." Yeah. If you're going to make the move, you got to do it sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later. Monica said the thing is Ringo came in under a totally different system and incompetent coaches. Q and Cooper came in under a different system with competent coaches. Okay. However, Quinyon and Cooper only had 1 year with a competent coach. Keely had that still same year with the competent coach. And now he's going into the training camp with the same competent coach. And the competent coach is saying, Keely, I want you to win the job. Do this and you can win the job. And Keely has not been living up to the end of the bargain. Again, my first whole conversation on this was I wanted Slay, I wanted Rodgers. Didn't get either of them. Keely Ringo's ready. And now, little by little, I'm starting to think maybe he's not. But I'm not at the point yet. There's still much more practices to be held. There's 2 more games. We will see some more. Ratchet 20G Johnson with the $2 super chat. Appreciate the love and support. It's Keely's knees, bruh. His knees knocked while running. I ain't gonna lie. My biggest, the biggest take I always had on Ringo's game was at 6'2", 220, running as fast as he does, his body being so long, knees knocking while running, as Ratchet just said. How you gonna get in and out of your breaks quick enough? And so that's why people thought that he could possibly transition to safety, because he's fast, big, strong, and he reads pretty good. But can them knees get him in and out of the break? No excuse. Look, Jamar Chase is a dog. When Jamar Chase caught that tiptoe pass on Ringo with a baby push off, Quinyon could have got beat on that play like that. But when Keely was playing 12 yards off, Chase called it, and my man said Ringo round a rosy, a pocket full of posies, and just let him run. Nah, that was crazy. That was crazy. If I was watching it live with y'all, which I will be watching next games live with y'all, Y'all would have been going crazy on me. And I would have been taking it and laughing with y'all. Play Bones 49 with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Ringo is still one of the youngest players on the team. We need to be more patient and let him marinate. I can absolutely agree with that statement. I don't know how much you watch of my videos, but every time I talk about Keely, I mention, or most of the time I talk about Keely, I mention that he is younger. He's a couple months younger than Quinyon Mitchell. Let that sink in. Been in the league, he's going on year 3. Quinyon's going on year 2, and he's a couple months younger. Does that mean he's going to automatically get better soon? No, but it's still something to think about. Sorry, I keep coughing, man. I got this little cough. I can't shake it. I'm willing to ride out training camp and preseason before I give the ultimate judge on Keely Ringo. Now, Play Bones, I'm going to be one on here saying, damn, bro, you got cooked. I can't lie when somebody gets cooked, but I'm also not going to write them off because quarterback is one of them positions that you're going to get beat eventually. I mean, Quinyon got smoked by Terry McLaurin in the Washington Commanders game that we lost once. Quinyon was so far off of Scary Terry that play. When Scary caught the touchdown, Quinyon wasn't even on camera. How are you guarding somebody and get a touchdown scored on you and not even be on camera? He got cooked. Does that not mean he's a good player? No. You could say Quinyon get cooked, but there will be no disrespect opposite of the actual telling of the play. Quinyon got cooked that play. But he's also the 49th best player in the NFL, according to other NFL players. So there's still levels to it. If Ringo gets cooked, there's nothing for him to fall back on. He can't fall back on shutting everybody down and getting cooked once. He hasn't done that yet. And D878. That's exactly what I said. I think you're commenting with only hearing half of what I said. Every great cornerback has got cooked once or twice. Everyone. From the Darrelle Revises to the Champ Baileys to the Deion Sanders to the Patrick Surtains. Cooper DeJean got ate up by Adam Thielen. That's his welcome to the NFL mode. And the old Adam Thielen put him to work. But not many other people did. Good cornerbacks will always make mistakes. And they'll be able to fall on, well, I play better more than I don't. Keely Ringo, I'm saying Keely don't have that he don't have that to fall back on. I bet. No, the way you were saying it is if you're like if I was acting like it was more than one game. I appreciate you. Lord Vaughn said he got burnt every play and had decent coverage once. What are we talking about, Ringo? Q a beast. I agree. Barber said Ringo plays so far off, he's out of the position already before the snap. Yeah. Now, again, Fangio got to tell him, bro, play up. Play up. You're 6'2", bro. Part of your game is being physical. Play up, Keely. We also could be seeing some vanilla. And no, I wasn't skipping. I just said it that many times. Vanilla defenses. Maybe Fangio's asking them to play off. I don't know. We're going to see more as we watch training preseason. And if you're going to the live practice, I'll be there. And if Ringo gets cooked at the live practice, well, I might have video. I might have to delete that part of the video. It's like, nah, just kidding. If Ringo gets cooked, I'm going to share it on the screen. I'm going to say, viewers beware. You're in for a scare. Hey, I love I'm awake, but he's one of the biggest ones that say Keely Ringo is not who we thought he is. Yeah. Cole, you said it felt like we had a whole bunch of Bradburys out there. Brandon said Fangio did say he called plays to see the limitations of his players in regular season He'll call plays to protect the weakness of that's true too. But as we get closer to the regular season and Keely Ringo's playing throughout the preseason, we got to make sure we get him. We got to see what he can do right. Simple and plain. Oh, and the reason Jahad Campbell didn't start against the Bengals is because he was on a snap count and he only played like 15, like I said in my video. Cyrus said, just face it, man. The man is barbecue chicken. I can't disagree with you right now. I can't disagree with you. Philly said, shit pisses me off. I'm gonna get beat trying to play close when you give 100 yards off the ball, not even giving yourself a chance. Yeah, he definitely gonna have to play closer this next game. One thing we could talk about is the Eagles are going to be joint practicing with the Cleveland Browns. And throughout this offseason, we heard reports that Greg Newsome II was kind of on the chop block. Well, Howie Roseman and Vic Fangio are going to be able to scout, not via film, live reps of the Bengals cornerback, Greg Newsome. And so if they scout him, like him, Ringo's still getting beaten. Live practice, joint practice, preseason game, maybe we pull the trigger and trade for him. $803 Hitman said, I'm taking Deion Sanders with all 7 toes over Ringo right now. Donald Rowan said, but Nakobe D turned out pretty good, huh? Respect. He said Nakobe Dean was being toasted in preseason too. So we're going to see. We need to do a live breakdown on Adoree and Ringo. We definitely do, Zay. And listen, I'm going to be live. I'm going to be at the live practice. If I can go live and it comes in crystal clear, I will. If not, I will record everything crystal clear. So when I do my video, we could break down all the plays. The good plays from the offense, the bad plays from the offense, the good plays from the defense, the bad plays from the defense, even Keely Ringo. With that being said, I love talking with y'all. I love chopping it up with y'all, but I'm going to be getting out of here soon. Mike said, does anybody remember when Nelson Aguilar cooked Richard Sherman when we played the Seahawks, then dropped the wide open touchdown pass? Sports, you're never going to be, you're always going to, everybody gets cooked sooner or later. But Ringo don't got the Ringo don't got enough good film to make up for the bad film quite yet. Ratchet said, but Mike, he's been getting cooked for 3 years. I mean, not really. He hasn't got much PT for 3 years. Cole Hughes said Ojomo will have a better career than Ty. Right now, it looks that way. Ty's a rookie, and Ojomo's looking like a breakout star. G50 said, thanks so much for your content. Love you. Go Birds. You already know. And again, who's all going to be at the live practice tomorrow? Let me know if anybody in here is going to be. So if you see me, say what's up. Bourne said, would you trade Tanner for a second 2026 second? No, not a second round pick. You gotta start the conversation with a first round pick for me to trade Tanner. But even then, I don't know, because the backup quarterback is important. You need him to win a game or two, you might. And I like how Tanner slinged the rock. Main Fresh said Chase might be the worst wide receiver to go against for Ringo, in my opinion. Give him another week. I absolutely can. I feel that when you say that. I absolutely feel it. I'm losing faith in Ringo, but I haven't lost faith yet. Losing, but not lost. Alex L with the $10 super chat. Appreciate the love and support. He said Ringo gets a pass due to him going up against the top 3 wide receiver in the first preseason game. If he's getting cooked against the Browns, then we know he's not the answer. And I can agree with that. And again, I'm not saying that anybody who already thinks Ringo's not the answer is wrong. Y'all might be right. I might be right. Right now, looking like y'all more right. But I love the mindset of what Alex just said here. I love it and I respect it. I low-key said I want to see the full scope of training camp and preseason. And then I will give my final decision on what Ringo's career will look like in the NFL or with the Eagles. Alex L dropped a $10 super chat and spoke some facts. Ringo could get a pass due to him going against Jamar Chase, top 3 wide receiver in the first preseason game. If he's getting cooked against the Browns, he's not the answer. But it's still and always go Birds. Zay said he's going to be at the open practice. All right, well, expect to see you there. We think AJ top 3. How come Ringo is not better prepared? That's true. Ringo going up against AJ should prepare him. But the reports that when AJ was catching over Ringo was simply Ringo was there, just AJ made a better play. With that being said, we got 411 people in here. I'm going to end this talking about what the title is and talking about what we talked about early on, right? If you are subscribed to the channel, if you're not subscribed, we do live streams and regular videos. During the live streams, for the first 10 to 15 minutes, I talk about the title. The title is what I talk about. And then after the first 10 to 15 minutes talking about the title, wherever the chat takes us, we go. And the chat has been talking a lot about Keely Ringo. With that being said, Jalen Carter wrecked practice. 2 sacks. One of them was a strip sack, a PB, a pass breakup or deflection. He also was winning multiple one-on-ones. When Jalen Carter decides to flip the switch, whether it's a game or practice, he just gets it done. And if you thought All-Pro Jalen Carter was good last year, wait till watch what he has in store for year 3. It's going to be a masterpiece. Also, I want to say this. Jalen Carter ranked what? 28 in the top 100 or 39? I forgot exactly where he ranked. Let me know if y'all know before we get up out of here. I forgot where he ranked. Somebody got to know. He did just finish. So we got Jordan Mailata at 69, Cooper DeJean at 60. We got Quinyon Mitchell at 49 and Jalen Carter at 34. Shout out to Zay. Nah, he ranked 34. Yeah. Like, subscribe, and share. Do it, do it, do it. Monica said some of you fans are a mess. Going to see who y'all going to hate on next year. With all that being said, I love y'all to death. Oh, real quick, we still got 387 people in here. We should be at least close to 300 likes. Can we at least get close to 300 likes? We are at 156. Now, I didn't really say that throughout the stream, but we got 392 people in the building and only 156 likes. If half of y'all just stop what you're doing and hit the like button, we can get close to 300. Chester said, I'm a big fan of your podcast. I'm from Philadelphia area, and I just wanted to say, go Birds. You already know. I respect it. Green Wingman with a $5 super chat. He said, idea. Do you feel that Ringo should be a press man corner due to his height and strength? I think it helps him. His height, his strength, and his 40 time. I would think you would want to use his catch-up speed, his physicality, all that. If you got to guard a wide receiver for 3 seconds, if 1 second you're pressing him, that just now makes it 2. Now, but again, if Ringo gets beat off press, I don't know how good his footwork is and his, again, ability to get in and out of his breaks. which has always been a little knock on him, if he could use that to help catch up. But I would like to see Ringo get a lot closer than he was against the Bengals, and he has to play better, or I'll be on the Keely Ringo stink side. Right now, I want to see more. So far, it looks like the ones who were telling me he's not good has been right. And I know, Green Wingman, you're more on the side of he's not ready yet. But you're also, I guess, willing to give him a chance. Yeah, the hips are still an issue. Big time. Big time. With that being said, let's see. Let me just double check. Let's see what we got. 200 likes. Y'all did a little something. A little something. But with 378 people in here, I don't understand why we can't get it close to 300 likes. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Sure enough, you're just getting in here, man. We've been live for 50 minutes. I will be going live a lot more often. We'll be linking up with 500, linking up with LB. These are guys I spoke to recently. Eagles Eric, we'll get him on. He's been hitting me up low-key. He knows a lot about breaking down Ringo tape. We actually might break down Ringo tape with him on. Should be interesting to see his take, how it's changed or not. We talked about Jalen Carter. We talked a little bit about the Bengals. Talked a little bit about today's training camp led by Jalen Carter. And then, of course, we talked about Keely Ringo because everybody hates him. I'm just kidding. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. A lot more lives, and we'll continue with the videos as well. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking Sixers in the Bird Gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.